The issue here is I just have a lot of projects going on, and every single project I really enjoy and I want to work on it. It's not like there isn't one over the other that I feel more strongly that I want to work on, and they're all super different. So, yesterday I got my e-spinner. I spent all last night spinning up yarn. I have a couple of braids left, so I got three in total to kind of play around with. I do love that it's travel size because I've been able to have this on my bed, like just sitting like this. I have this little stool. I don't really know what I had plans for it. Eventually I will recover this, but not today. We're not feeling that. We don't need another project to get started. It works perfectly on here. So it has this little bottom. It wasn't working so well on my table. It was kind of like sliding around. So I was like, okay, well, let's try it on top of some fabric. And I did notice that in a bunch of the tutorials, they either had like a liner down that you put in, silverware drawer or something like that to kind of hold everything in place. Didn't have that, but this seems to be working just well. So I put it on here. I have the little pedal to start and stop. Just been relaxing, going through it. Not super mad about this either. It's turning out for my first one. Keep this in mind. This is my very first time spinning yarn. I've drop spindled, but on this actual machine. This is the very first time that I've done it. And it's not terrible. I will definitely use this. I'm thinking that I'm gonna do like a wall hanging with it and maybe use it to display some of my enamel pins. I don't know. But anyways, this is all that I have left of the braid of roving, which seems like a lot, but it's been going really, really quickly. So I have this as one option, and I really want to work on it. But then, definitely in my blanket era again, I had a little bit of a panic attack last night, just sleep anxiety issues. After that happened, I was up. I was ready to go. Just went down the list of things that I do. Either I will go exercise, depending on what time of day it is. It was like 2:30 in the morning, not really my prime time to work out. So that was off the list. Tried to throw on some movies, that didn't really work. Picked up my Karen anniversary cake yarn, and that did the trick. I worked on it the rest of the time until my alarm went off, which was like 5:30, I think, this morning, and then started making coffee, ready for the day. I actually have coffee, tea, and my water down today. I don't really know which one I want, so we brought all of them. Very much love how the colorway is this year. So even just from that little bit that I worked up the other day, I figured I was gonna love it, but the more I worked it up, it made me sad that I didn't have two of these cakes of yarn, because that way I could have just used this, finished up a blanket, because this is one. So I did a C to C and I just kept working and working. It was very nice little meditative type of project to work on. My cat Alanis laid on it this morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is your blanket now, because it's like exactly her colors for her fur. I probably won't get to use it, but that's totally fine. I enjoyed the process. She can have it now. I could go out today and look for another cake of yarn, but honestly, the places that I looked a few days ago, they were either out of stock or like I hadn't even seen them there. And this was the birch bark colorway. And yeah, it was the only one that I found. So I'm thinking, since I'm not really in the mood to go out, I mean, obviously I'm a little bit tired from not sleeping last night too. I'm thinking staying in the yarn dungeon all day and just working on some of my projects. Yesterday, I did find another Karen anniversary cake. Very glad that I did grab it, because I was going back and forth. I was like, well, I'm gonna wait and see if I can find this color, because I just want this blanket. But if I want to work on this, I can do a split blanket. This is the Pebbled Path. Another one that wasn't on my list of the colorways that I was gonna get, but in person I actually really like this. We have some really dark gray, some white, some blues, and then that purple. That's what got me. Since I didn't get the other purple colorway, I figured this is like the next best thing, and these two together actually wouldn't be terrible. So yeah, I just have a tiny bit over here that I need to finish. Like, this is it. This is all I have left of that giant cake of yarn. So I'm gonna probably stop at this row, just from here to here. That's it. That's another option, is that I could just go ahead and keep working this up. I think I'm just gonna keep spinning. I've just been having a lot of fun with it. So why stop? And let's just work the rest of this up. There is a little part right here that has gotten a little bit wild, really, really thin. I mean, it's overspun right there, but that's okay. It's imperfect because this is a brand new thing to me, and that's totally fine. We're gonna keep on going. First bobbin, and I'm pretty happy with that. My plans are to spin up some of this stuff now and then ply these two together. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it, but I just wanted two contrasting colors. I thought it would be kind of fun. And this one has like little bits of color scattered all throughout it. Basically looks like funfetti frosting. Just gonna keep going that. I need to do one of these though, set up another bobbin. So I have 6 in total, which is really nice actually. I didn't really know a lot going into this, so I wasn't sure how many was a good number. That way I can keep playing around. Like I don't have to commit to this and now, okay, what do I do with it? Need to apply it right away. I can kind of keep playing, fill all 6 of them up, and then decide what I want to do. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to get all 6 filled up though, because that was a full braid and then only have the 2 left. So this will probably all go on here actually. Slide that on there. This little thing goes in the end. All right, ready to go now. Very much like the black with the purple. It looks totally Nightmare Before Christmas. This little machine is totally worth it for me, just for my mental health alone. This has been the most relaxed that I have been in the past 24 hours, which is kind of odd to me because when I start something new, I always want to just like go, go, go. Like I'm in 100%. Let's go, let's learn all the things, but I am really enjoying the process of this, like everything. And this is not perfect by any way, shape, or form. It is super lumpy in some spots. There are a couple of strands where I had a good rhythm going. Finding things out about myself though, I was starting to draft with my right hand and hold it with my left hand. Didn't like that, so I just switched and now I'm drafting with my left hand. Seems to be working a lot better, so I'm not really going to question that. I'm just going to keep on going that way. This particular roving, I am absolutely going to get some more of. I just like the little pops of color in here, and I think it would be fun to apply it together with some of my other Halloween yarn that I already have. Just kind of use that as the base. Changed my mind completely. I do want this to be a beanie. I'm not going to do a wall hanging. I'm sure it would look great that way, but I do want to crochet with this. So after I have this totally finished, how many grams? I don't even know. I guess I'll weigh it when I'm done and see if I have enough to do a beanie. If I don't, then I'm going to do a headband, some sort of wearable piece with it, because I'm just so happy and proud of how this is going that I'm going to have to wear it around. There's like so much for me to learn on this still. This is just, I'm just messing around with it, honestly. I'm trying to figure out the drafting process, how I can get it to be as even as possible. Although I do really love schlubby yarn with like little chunks and clusters in there. So this might be the yarn that I end up working up on here. I'm just very happy that I can relax a little bit today and that this is what did it, which is why it's kind of a shame that I don't have any more fiber. I thought for sure though, 3 braids of that roving, it was going to take me a little while to get through. Nope. Just kidding. Already done with all of it. Also, Also, we have to pick our haunted book club read for September. So we have two options this month, and they're in the community tab already. Both of the books are out and available. Make sure you go through the summary of each and check out the covers too. So the first one is A Mask of Flies, and this is a crime thriller occult, because it had me even before I read the summary. It's so stunning. So that's our first option. The second option is The Chamber, which is also a crime thriller, but it's psychological and suspense. This one takes place in the ocean or a lake, some sort of body of water. So that type of psychological factor of it, which to me is terrifying. I love that type of horror read. I'm definitely going to get them in audiobook version. So I did listen to, they have like 2 to 3 minutes available of the book just to kind of hear the voice actors, and either of them are totally fine with me. They both kind of have an eerie setup, which is perfect for Halloween Eve, which is all of September. Also going to be reading a couple of murder mystery books, or like cozy murder mysteries. Definitely go through phases with that, but once September hits, I like to just have them on hand. There's a couple of series that I've been paying attention to, and they came out with new books either in August or July, but they were books like 15 or 20. There was a lot in this series. So I'm gonna have to narrow it down to just one, because what normally happens is I'll read the first book and then just go, like listen to as many as I possibly can after that. I love a good murder mystery, like the formula of it. Both of them are very similar. So it either has a vampire, witch, normally small town happenings, and then some amateur sleuthing. So yeah, in between whatever book we pick for our haunted book club, I will have it picked out for tomorrow. So in case you want to read along with me and get into your cozy murder mystery book era, if you haven't already got there. Also, if you haven't, the Vampire Knitting Club. Like seriously, we read that in our haunted book club. I mean, I think it was a couple of years ago. Highly, highly recommend. It is such a fun read. There's vampires, there's witches in a knitting shop. So yeah, and that's right next to a tea shop. There's lots of talk about tea and wool. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep working on this blanket tonight as I watch our 100 Nights to Halloween countdown movie marathon, which is endless today. Another movie that is totally new to me. It's a sci-fi horror. Campy horror movies are my all-time favorite, and then right underneath that is sci-fi horror. So I'm really hoping this is a good one. It's not a new movie by any means. It's just been on my list for such a long time that I'm like, okay, this is the year. We're gonna watch it. And who knows, I might get a lot of this blanket done tonight. That way I can start on some of my other projects that are half done, just staring at me like, hello, finish me up here. So that is everything for me today. Thanks for hanging out with me, and also for joining me at the very beginning of my electric spinning wheel journey. I hope you have a super spooky rest of your night, and I will see you ghouls tomorrow.